trying this week's Crumbl Cookies. Because it's Thanksgiving, it's all pies.
All right, you have my attention. We're back with another honest and realistic review of Crumbl Cookies, but this week it's all pies. So we've made it to this week. You're right, I've been gone for a while because I've been traveling for work, and I also got tired of eating disappointing cookies, but they're doing pies, and I have a pie obsession. Like, I love a good pie, but I'm very particular about my pie. Pies we skipped this week are the key lime, the French silk, and the cookies and cream, because you know I'm not huge on cookies and cream. I'm actually secretly not a French silk person. I know my family would absolutely have my head on a platter for saying that out loud, and I could do without a key lime. But apple, pumpkin, and pecan, I don't know, those are some of my favorite pies. Once again, we're doing a 0 through 10 scale. The 0 is I hated it, or it just kind of tastes like absolutely nothing, biggest waste of money ever. 5 is I didn't like it, I didn't dislike it, but I could find the exact same thing at a Cub Foods or Target Bakery way cheaper. And a 10 is, oh my gosh, you need to run out and try this, I loved it. Starting out strong, my location still doesn't have any utensils, so I had to bring my own fork, which is ridiculous to be selling pies, but no way for people to eat the pies. What the heck? But moving on, let's start with the mysterious looking apple pie, because apple pie is one of my favorites, but this is looking suspicious. It's surprisingly not bad. Honestly, the crust is the only part that is bad. It's clearly not a pie crust. They use some sort of a very floury sugar cookie mix that tastes not very good. But the apple goop is kind of just like warm applesauce, but I do like applesauce. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 because I will be eating this later, but maybe not the crust. Next up, we have the pumpkin pie. Now, my grandma makes the best pumpkin pie in the world. No one in the family can even duplicate it from her recipe, so I'm pretty picky about this. Already, the crust is too hard. I can't get the crust. I can't break the crust off. It's hard as a rock. All right, I think the crusts are the same on all of these, so I won't get into it too hard, but that was hard as a rock, and I hated every second of it. However, the pumpkin goop inside is pretty good, and I say goop because it's really pudding consistency and not pie consistency. But it is pretty tasty. If you can work around the crust, I'd give it a 6, but given the crust situation, I'm giving it a 3. Last but not least, we got the pecan, whatever pie. So the pecan goop situation is pretty good, but it's definitely not firm enough to consider it a pecan pie, and I know because my mother makes one of the best ones. It almost competes with my grandma's pumpkin pie. No one tell them I said that. I don't want to ruin Thanksgiving before it starts, but the crust situation is so bad that it's ruining all of these. And I'm definitely going to have to give this one a 3 because the crust was overwhelmingly powerfully awful compared to the goop on this one. I know I'm a pie crust snob because my family makes all of our pie crusts homemade, but a good pie crust is really what will make a pie, and a bad pie crust will ruin your pies entirely. So this is definitely a skip week for Crumbl, sadly enough. Their bad crust ruined all of their pies.